Day 436. So, as I mentioned before, I didn't do anything today. Tomorrow will be my midweek. So I will plan on doing something, whether it's mowing my lawn, working on my garden, painting the house. I still have the back side of my house to do. Something like that, right? To get physical activity in. Because the next 4 days I'm going to want to do that. I do have, even with all the weight gain and weight loss, one of the interesting things I've found is I've gotten used to my wrists. That was a big thing. I looked down one day and I was like, oh, my wrists, they're so skinny, like comparatively, right? I mean, you lose 100 pounds, you don't really realize where that weight is. And so, like, for me, I notice, when I go through the fasting periods, like, right here, this kind of will swell out and then, come back in. Another one is my shoulder. Maybe you'll see it better on this side. Like, this didn't used to be there. You used to not be able to see my skeleton. So like I found myself touching myself like this because having that feeling of, just this little dip right here that didn't exist before, or it did, but it was covered up in fat. And so it wasn't something I noticed. So this has been the newer one. It has been, my shoulder area, and kind of feeling this randomly, being like, wait, what is this little hole in my neck? And it's not a hole. It's just something that, is normally part of your skeleton, right? So like it's kind of like as I progress and as I go through this process, and my skin tightens and I lose the weight. Right now, right, I'm kind of stagnating, but the fat amount is still going down. So I'm active, which means I'm burning fat, getting rid of skin, putting on muscle, that type of thing. And so I'm getting these, side effects where like I can feel the difference. I can see the difference, right? And it is very interesting to see kind of like what comes up next. The reason our bellies are not, are one of the last to go is for the simple fact that, when's the last time you did 100 crunches every day, right? It's not a place, and it's not just crunches, right? It's the sides and the front and all that. And so the less you use of an area, the more likely that's where the fat is going to just kind of build up because it's less likely to get agitated, right, by muscle. And so that's one of the things that I have to work on is, being 100 pounds less than what I was. It shows me where I have failed to, monopolize that muscle and monopolize that area of the body, because ideally, right, you shrink everywhere at once at a constant rate, but in actuality, you're shrinking in certain places like here right now, or your wrist, or, your calves, but you might not be shrinking around your thighs or your stomach. And so that type of stuff, if you don't keep it in your mind, it's cool to get these types of side effects, but you want to keep them, and you want that to be the effect all over your body, not just one part and not like another part. So just wanted to bring that up. It's like these interesting changes that my body is going through as I lose the weight and as I get more fit.